What's going on, guys? Slow here. Today we're going to be doing another VOD review with a Diamond 1 Sentinel main here. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get it started.
No.
Just going to go ahead and skip ahead here to the beginning of the round.
I'm scared to talk.
Looks like
now.
we already got an A hit going.
Holy shit.
Nothing too crazy here.
Let's
Looks
say
like we're just going to go ahead and
something.
rotate, clean him up.
Get the fuck out of the way. I'm getting my kill.
Flash.
Pretty standard here.
Got my one.
PP for lunch.
Our second round, let's take a look at our buy here. First thing I'm going to notice is our team does not have an equal buy. Hopefully this is going to change. This is just an observation I'm making right now. Definitely want to buy a Spectre here. Or at least, okay, a Marshall works too.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, so we actually do have a good buy
what
here.
does mean PP? Like
no.
penis.
Oh,
From
yeah,
Turkey.
I think it's B.
Probably.
Oh my. Wait, this guy needs a heal.
Come to me.
Yeah, get this guy a heal.
Stand up, stand up.
Pop down, pop down! Down, B. Yo, get the bomb!
Guys, hello, I'm fighting. Come on, what are you doing?
Bro,
Why you
down
screaming?
there? Down there?
Down you go. Launching smoke. Volley.
Yes, dude.
So right now at the moment, a lot of your team is set up towards B site. They're obviously showing presence in this area, but one thing that you're going to notice in Diamond lobbies a lot is this is the ELO where players begin to start running fakes. The interesting thing about Diamond, however, is that you'll notice that the players in Diamond aren't quite that smart. So you can actually kind of tell they have somebody set up here, kind of just like distracting, pressuring this location while the rest of the team goes ahead and then you just pull off or rotate this way. So what I'm expecting to happen this round is kind of just a slow walk towards A. And then once they get in this area, they might actually full execute, just hit site. Now that might not actually happen, but it is worth noting that you do have the majority of your team at B, which one of the important things to be thinking about during a round is how is the other team communicating to each other, and what do their comms kind of look like, right?
Coming B.
And we kind of want to, yeah. So Breach is gonna make the comm that they're coming A. As you can see, this Raze is still pressuring B, trying to keep you guys, trying to peel you guys off of A site as they go ahead and execute here. Rain is gonna flash out. Nice pick from our Sage here. Gonna go ahead and pick up 2 with the Raze still on B site, and Breach is gonna clean her up here. Pretty well done from our team here. Good calm from the Breach. We're gonna start off the next round with a bonus. So we got a Spectre buy here, a Light Shield, or actually running
I'm stunning.
heavies
It's B.
Probably B.
on round 3. Small critique, not too crazy of a tip, but with the heavy shield, we don't always need to buy this on our bonus round. The reason why is because on round 3, this is especially if we win round 2, right? The other team is going to be having particularly like primarily mostly rifles for the most part, right? And if you think about it, if we look at the game from NRG recently, right, we understand that a Vandal is going to be 4 to the body, 1 to the head, no matter what. Phantom obviously is going to be a headshot, 1 shot, but since you're bonusing and your goal isn't primarily to just win the round, but however to take guns away from the other team, you don't need to invest in heavy shields here. If you're looking for that extra econ, it's definitely worth just going ahead and going light there.
On site. Good for 44. Nice trade.
So we're gonna get traded out by our teammate here.
Smoke's down.
Could be arcade.
Let's go ahead and rewind a little bit and see exactly what happens here. So we see Reyna's flash. So we're gonna go a little bit further back actually and take a, oh shit. We're gonna take a little deeper look at what happened here. I want to see exactly when you wall. Okay, so here's the problem right here. Now this might not look like much, but let me explain. So when we're using our utility as Sage, we want to use it in a reactionary way. So because we wall this off of sound, the other team is automatically going to just shoot this wall down and kind of negate the fact that we walled. Now, what we can do to counter this and stall for our rotation, as you can see, our teammates are back here still, kind of trying to rotate. This wall is going to be down by the time that they actually get there. The slow that you threw is good. However, Reina's going to go ahead and throw her flash, right? This is the moment where we want to wall. So when we're using utility as Sage, we kind of want to trade our util for their util and kind of trade value in that way, right? Because it allows us to stall for more time, and then our slow can be then used later on. So as you can see, they just shoot the wall down instantly, and then comes the flash, and she's just going to swing through this slow,
On site.
go ahead and get the frag,
44.
and this is why we kind of died here.
I keep all.
So looks like our team is just kind of fighting the 2v2. Gonna get cleaned up here. Oh my! What? Insane shots from the breach, actually.
Boys, if you scream one more time, I'm
Breach
gonna
actually able to get that round. That's kind of crazy for your team. You guys are kind of stacked on money now,
leave this fucking game. I'm so tilted now. I lose my.
for the most part.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Starting out round 4.
Nice shot.
Looks like we have a default going.
The thing.
It's kind of
We have
got a
spike,
lurk
it's aim in.
arcade and as well as aim in.
One enemy remaining.
I'm
Was
rotating.
that rifle down Brim or no?
Right. So as soon as we get that spike down, we just obviously want to rotate to that spike. We have almost full utility here,
He's holding me with Martian.
so we can go ahead and wall this off or just hold.
He went through the ropes, man. He got the op, bro. He got the fucking operator.
Shut up, yeah.
Yeah, we need to get that back. I got you.
He's gonna save that shit for sure, bro. I'm coming down.
Default operator down.
That's unlucky. Wait,
Dead.
does
He dropped out.
He threw it out the map. He threw it out of the map.
Okay, so Raze is gonna try and save the op here. He gets killed. Unlucky for him.
Bad wall.
my button?
I
Going into
couldn't
round
hear
4
him
here.
over
Let's
the
see what we
fucking
do with
sound of
Sage.
Russians. Bad wall.
I don't know about this wall. I mean, it's not a bad wall, but it does give them a lot of space. Particularly this orb right here becomes available to them. One of the things to know on Fracture is there are actually 4 ult orbs. This is a very momentum-based map, so especially with agents like Breach, Raze, Killjoy, which no one's running, these ult orbs become pretty important, and even Viper. So you definitely do want to contest these orbs. Walling right here just kind of allows them to take it for free. If you weren't to be standing on this angle right here, you wouldn't be able to fight it as
One's
easily.
arcade.
Okay, I'm leaving. I have ultimate. I have ultimate for retake. Let them have sight.
You fought well.
Okay, we're gonna get a pretty nutty pick from the stage here.
Last one's arcade.
Unfortunately, she's gonna get traded out. Let's kind of see what happened here. So we're gonna kill Raze.
You fought well.
How are we swinging this? Okay, so this is our mistake. So when we're breaking a wall, right? The other player is going to be expecting the wall to be broken, and then all they have to do is react to that spray, and then they're naturally going to have the advantage in this aim duel. One improvement you could see here is just moving further back behind this box behind you to the left and breaking the wall that way, and then holding the cross from this side, forcing Omen to swing into you rather than just holding for you to break the stage wall. I believe that would have been a more advantageous aim duel for you.
Oh my.
Yeah, same.
All right, so we're going to be going into round 6 now.
I don't know what my plan was when I sprayed that wall. I got lucky when I killed that Raze, but
Right. So once again, we're gonna want to spray if we're looking to take a fight like that, we're gonna want to spray the wall down from a safe location and then just force them to swing into us because like I said, they're waiting for you to break that wall. They're gonna be pre-aiming you as soon as that wall comes down. Tap fire, full accuracy. Meanwhile, you're mid spray, so your bloom isn't reset. You have spread. All these things are separate issues that combine into one massive
I'm just gonna
massive
slide.
issue.
I love you.
And we just want to like try to
Did you say that I love
isolate
me?
our aim
You love me?
tools in a way where
Yeah.
we don't have to
Bro,
fight.
Like 5
I have,
minutes.
We don't have to fight ourselves and the enemy at the same time.
I have my girlfriend.
So round 6 here.
What the fuck?
We got the same wall going. Looks like it's already a 5v2. We're gonna get a pretty good shot on Omen here.
I fought.
We do have res. We have a lot of ults actually.
Wait, he's on
But
the
our
left.
team is
What
just
the
kind of
fuck?
cleaning them up, so there's not much to talk about this round. So we're just gonna go straight to round 7.
What the
They have
fuck?
breach
Let
and
me have
raise
your
ult,
cock.
maybe they can combo it, guys. Careful.
Yeah. If
So
if
far,
you're
pretty
on
good
six, then
defense
we'll
here
get
from
ult
our team. It looks like everything's going pretty smoothly.
back. I'm insta stunning jet. You wanna give them sight? I ult.
Ult it! I'm the.
What's hit?
Okay, so at this point, we're going to talk about something a little bit more advanced, but once again, this is a situation where we're going to talk about how is the other team calming to each other, right? So we have this wall here. We've done this about, I think, 3 times so far. So this will have been our 3rd time. At this point, anyone who goes from arcade, they're going to know that there's going to be a wall there. And so we want to be able to play into that by predicting their comms, their communications. They're going to be like, okay, Sage plays B, she walls arcade. This isn't very easy for us. How are we going to play around this? Well, let's start going A. Let's start contesting A site. So with our utility, we have an insane ability to stall. That's one of Sage's biggest strengths. So moving around her utility like this is very useful in the long run, especially when you make it to where the other team can't predict where that utility is going to end up
Right up.
at the start of each round. Changing your positioning is very strong,
Sold
as
off,
Sage.
Spike planted.
I wait for you.
You guys need to take main, I guess, please. Just one in condition.
Aside.
One's lower.
Last player
In
standing.
main. One's still main.
Your duty is not. No charge. Last player
Drop.
standing.
Drop. Nice, bro.
Okay, big NT.
Sorry guys,
Okay.
I was blind. Fuck me.
No, it's okay.
Kind of unfortunate for our team here.
Shitty
Jeff, where
fucking
you from?
laugh.
He's holding me, I'm so tilted.
No, it's okay.
They're in.
So we hear they're back on the B hit. We have people coming arcade and B main. We already have 2 people dead. We haven't used our slows yet. We probably want to utilize that. I do see we're waiting for this guy to swing,
Side.
but it's worth noting that they're going to have sight by the time that we get this pick, most likely.
Yeah, they have B.
So they're on site now. We're able to clean up
Nice.
Reyna here. And then we should be aware that someone is going to be tower. So yeah, as we can see here now, we are turning around, doing a full 180 aim duel, which is why we actually lose this aim duel right here. Because this wall's here, my opinion personally is that this everything behind this wall, although there is a guy here pressuring it, right? He's most likely, I would say he's a non-factor, mostly because on this side of the map we have only a smoke, and they have managed to push through the smoke and take all this space up here. So essentially, this entire side of the map is now under their control. And although there's a guy pressuring here, he's not really relevant at the moment due to this wall being there. So since we do have this wall, we want to stall here before we allow them to take that much space, which is unfortunately why we did die from tower
One
here.
tower. Oh man.
I wait for you, chamber. I'm away.
And that's just in
Right, that
conjunction
one.
with our teammates dying as well.
Prepare yourself.
So we're now 6-2. See what we do
I
here.
need to like charge it up.
Interested to see if we move our wall or do anything different this round. Okay.
Okay, hold this for me, please.
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do the same wall here, and we're gonna expect the B main hit. Looks like we're gonna get a pick here.
I'm leaving.
Headshot.
Rem's gonna die
There you go. Give
pretty
him.
early into the round. Our slow bounces up
Yeah,
into the
it's-
air, so we're not really
spike
getting
down,
much
B main.
impact. So if I rewind a little bit, we're actually gonna talk about this a little bit more in depth. So right here.
Okay.
Here's where the issue is. So as once we okay, so when we throw our slow, so as you can see, our slow landed back here, right? Reason why this is bad, same reason why when you throw a raise grenade, say for example, if I throw a raise grenade right here, our enemies are gonna react by moving away from it, right? They're just gonna run past it. Now, if you're planning to stall, instead of throwing your slow into where they're standing, throw it into where they're going to walk into. Because had our slow been here, we would have stopped this entire push from taking place, leading to these enemies possibly not killing you, and even if they did, it would have stalled for your teammates who were primarily on the left side of the map at the moment, long enough for them to rotate. Luckily, we're able to get Omen here before we get traded out, so we do get 2, which is good, making it a 3v3.
Spike down B main. They don't know. They don't know. They can't now.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
He has an op.
Nice shot.
Unfortunate for our chamber here. Looks like we're playing the defense pretty well. Like I said, honestly, some small critiques here and there. So far, we're doing pretty well. We're at least trading our life for 2, which in a diamond lobby, we always want to trade. Like if we're gonna die, you want to at least get 2. Okay, we don't want to just trade ourselves for 1, because if we trade ourselves for 1, people on attack, people who are attacking, they have much more control over the flow of how the match works, because they can choose to hit B, then they can change their mind and come back A at any moment. Meanwhile, someone almost 90% of the time has to manage all these spots on the map at once. So if they're able to somehow kill you, right, this makes it more manageable for them to then go back and hit B, run fakes, do all of these different types of strategies, making it harder for you to
Rage jump on B.
We can just give up B side.
get value
Yeah, I'm leaving.
in a round.
Double flying.
This is one of those situations where kills are not the main primary focus of the
That's like
of the
deep.
match here. Not saying that that's what's going on currently, but it is something to think about.
Can you distract them?
Yeah, just start shooting. Fuck it.
So we have presence B. Now, one thing to note here is that you're gonna notice that they did show presence B, right? But then they kind of stopped before they hit this location. Now, this is a pretty telltale indicator that they're either running a slow default or straight up just a fake. So what we're gonna expect here, at least in my read, is that they might have somebody slow creeping up A. Now, this might not actually be the case, but since they got this pick here, it makes it more complicated because our team now has to deal like with what I said, where we lose 1. Now they can manage the defense side more easily from attack. As you can see, it's Raze. We know from early on that Raze likes to run the fakes. She'll set up B main as the other team goes A, and as you can see, if you look at the map, our entire team is kind of settled down here in B, leaving A fully open.
Nice save.
Omen's gonna give them a free trade though, however.
Wait, no, they're leaving.
Yeah, so they are gonna actually go ahead and
Hey,
go
I
A
have
here.
stun for a plan.
And Raze is most likely gone, or could be waiting for a late lurk. Something to keep your mind about open to.
He's low. He's
Okay, so looks like our
Oh, man.
team might actually just kill them all before we even get a rotate off.
Spike planted.
Anchoring right there is not a bad idea. I'm
One enemy
Nice Nice.
I would say that's a pretty good decision, especially because Rays could have come through B main. One thing I'd like to see you do, however, is I'm not a fan of this minimap. I'm actually opposed to it. How you can fix this is go into your general settings, go to minimap, turn keep player centered off, and have the minimap setting set to based on side. What this does is instead of having you in the dead center of the map, it puts the entire map in focus of the radar. That way you can see everything going on everywhere instead of just like half of the map, kind of like how we have it right now. And you can get a lot more info like that. And in a lobby and in Elo like Diamond, information is key. You have people trolling left and right, people with egos. You want to punish that, and you need the information to punish
I
those
can wall off
mistakes.
main. I can wall off. I can wall off. I can wall off.
He's low. He's low. -80.
Nice.
Jet's gonna get an op pick and dash forward. Interesting.
Bruh.
You know,
All right, so we are going to go
I have ultimate.
into our
I'm a hold stun for you.
possibly
Jet.
7-4
insta.
Okay.
or 8-3 here. We're gonna go ahead and wall Arcade off again.
Breach stun B main.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's give up the op.
Since we're playing site like this alone, this wall actually is pretty good. As you can see, your teammates are playing very passively back in CT. Now, this is something that's a very bad habit of Diamond players. As you can see, by Brim playing right here, holding this angle, this isn't the worst angle. However, Breach is kind of like, I believe what he was doing was playing Nest and then rotating this way. However, what he's doing is essentially giving up space, which we're gonna call this space, okay? And he's trying to take space on this side of the map. But if we look over here, our vision cone for Brim encompasses this whole area. We have this site zoned off, this side of the site zoned off. There's not really much space to be retaken by Breach performing this rotate, especially with a molly down. Although we do hear people, it's not necessary for him to immediately rotate like this, but we do have Breach ult and we do have Brim ult. So it's worth keeping in mind that staying on site like this could be dangerous. So something to think about is moving off site at some point. If they begin to pressure even harder, could be a good decision here moving further into the round. Breach ult is very strong for retake. Like I said, this map is very momentum based. So having Breach ult like this or Brim ult allows you to kind of snowball round after round. And that's kind of why we see Fracture being a really snowbally map in general. Once this molly fades, we're kind of going to figure out what their plan is. So Raiden's going to flash
Let me know what they're
through,
planning, okay?
and then we got a raise nade. So right off the start here, good comms to be giving to your team, especially since we have someone off site, is performing high level comms. So how we do that is essentially you have all of these clues as to what's going on. Now in Diamond, nobody comms anything important in terms of deep information, right? We hear the Reyna blind come out, Reyna's B. We hear the Raze boombot, Raze B. And you can condense that comm into 2B Raze Reyna. Okay, so we want to clarify who is where they are, and how many they are. And you want to kind of condense that into as little words as possible while providing as much info as you can. I believe we also just heard a Breach concuss, but I'm not quite sure.
Last
We're
time
able
B
to
main.
we're able to
One B
kill
main.
him here, luckily.
Arcade,
One
arcade,
just TP, TP.
Oh! Top of the wall.
Okay, I'm holding.
So we know Omen is arcade now.
What's
Main
happening?
chamber is in the smoke on B main.
Outside arcade and one B main. Could be going back out.
Okay.
He's actually one hit.
All right. So I'm not a fan of playing chicken with this guy. Personally, I think it's kind of funny, but at the same time, he does have an op. It's a 4v2. That's probably the best weapon to shut down a 4v2 and win out a player deficit like this where you have 2 versus 4. Having an op, very strong. Be careful with that.
Okay, I'm not even
Wait,
sure.
could go.
Enemy remaining.
He's one hit. B main.
Personally, I don't think that he has this round though.
B main.
Your team seems to just be at this point.
Still there?
Another tip before we continue, actually, I want to point something out. So a lot of things, one of the things that people in Diamond, they don't really take advantage of for the most part is not only momentum, but mental, right? So one of the most important things in higher elo, I would say you're about just at the very cusp of high elo, right? Just at the very like bottom of the tip of the iceberg, where you're kind of just climbing into where people have an elevated sense of game sense, right? So at this point, we're in a 4v1, score is 7-3. Okay, so we're 7-3 right now. Their mental shambles. Okay, so how can you capitalize on this? Well, your enemies are now playing extremely passive. So what I would recommend, just in general, not even this round, but just in general, utilize your ult more. All your teammates utilize your ult every single time that you have it available to you, where it's relevant. Use it, and then farm these ult orbs, because they're losing by so much. They're going to be playing not only more scared, but more reactively rather than proactively, which allows you to take more space. And map control is key on Fracture.
Yeah, okay. He could go under. Could go under and go arcade.
Good comms from the breach
He's
here.
actually one hit, dude. I hit him for a lot.
I do not think
One
it's a
hit,
good
how much
idea
HP?
to pressure
No clue,
this.
no clue.
Don't want to lose guns here. Even though we are
I'm gonna go
winning,
take road.
it's never a good idea to allow someone to take guns from us.
I have
Good,
upper.
good frag from our Sage here, though. Able to take the op out of Chamber's hands. Pretty huge.
Fuck!
I can't with you
All
It's
fucking
a
people
sun.
asking for my dick. It's
Yeah,
I
it's
want
this
to-
one.
Okay.
I want to go.
So whoa. Okay, so we're gonna wall arcade
Oh, outside B.
again, and we're gonna go
I can ult, I
for.
can ult.
Looks like they're going for an A hit here.
Dude, they good.
One enemy remaining.
Kind of a
Holy
boring round for our
shit,
Sage
that'll
here.
be
Not
so
a whole lot going on here. Just gonna go ahead and skip ahead to our
Bro,
attack.
he didn't get
Should I-
her visa because he's living in Turkey, you know?
Okay, so let's see what we're doing here. We're gonna buy a wall. Okay, I like this out of our Sage. Wall is a very good buy on first round, obviously. And we're gonna go light shield as well.
Stunning backside.
Pretty standard.
Didn't smoke. Trade me, please.
Whoa. Okay. All right. I'm going to talk about a mechanical tip here. So I want you to pay close attention to how we take this engagement and how we can improve on it. So as we're moving, Jet's going to go ahead and smoke nest. So at this point, we don't need to watch this angle, obviously, because as we
Stunning
continue,
backside.
the smoke is obviously a short timer, but the person behind us actually is holding that angle at the moment, and we're walking into this smoke. So we're just going to go ahead and just keep moving, making sure to be ready to trade Jet. We want to be aiming in a relevant spot. As Jet walks into the smoke and dies, your first mistake here, our Sage's first mistake here, is that he immediately right clicks. Problem with this play, mechanically speaking, when you right click, okay, you instantly lose accuracy by a large percentage, like as opposed to a left click. Now, there is a mechanic in the game called a burst fire, and how it works is instead of right clicking, you left click. You can left click body or head, either one. Doesn't matter if it headshots him or not. Only one right click, one of the right click bullets or one of the left click bullets has to hit the head. And then immediately after your left click, then you right click. And what this does is allows you to one shot anybody on pistol round. And it's very strong. So instead of right clicking and losing all this accuracy, get some left clicks off and then finish him off with a right click. And this probably wins you this aim duel. As you can see, we right click and then we go for another right click, which when you right click a second time, the accuracy is doubled, or the inaccuracy is doubled, which
Didn't smoke.
causes us to miss almost every single bullet, or if not all bullets. So we're not able to get a trade off here. So at this point,
We have
we're either just going to want to go straight to site and try and play for the hold, or just straight up rotate. Now this wall gives them a lot of space. So since it's pistol, it's not the biggest of deals, but they can essentially just kind of like run straight on and kill your team even as you're planning, which is not ideal.
One coming main.
They don't have to break that wall, which stalls basically for nothing.
You guys can go main, by the way.
Yeah, I would go main. I would go main, Brian.
I'm on main. I'm on main. Chill.
Good call from your teammates to go main here. I think this is a good positioning in this situation. Unfortunately, Omen's going to go ahead and smoke this, so we're going to have to play off our teammate here. So our goal here at this point is to just play directly side by side with Brim and be able to trade each other. Now we have heal, and we need to be paying attention to this because our Brim is low, okay, and we have heal. So we want to go ahead and heal our teammate as soon as we can. Okay, so and then Brim's just going to die here. He got headshotted, so I guess unlucky, but we do want to be using our util.
Enemy remaining.
Sticking.
This fucking game sucks.
Okay, so another mechanical error here with the ghost. Take a look at how our Sage here engages this fight. We walk in the smoke, we want to take our time with our shots. You see how our Sage is spamming just the general area? First of all, someone who's diffusing is not going to be at this height. It's almost the exact same height as crouching. And you can actually see here that our Reyna's shoulder is actually sticking through the smoke as he's diffusing. You can tell that he's sticking because of the red indicator on the spike that's halfway sticking through the smoke. And we can see the partial part of Reyna's player model sticking through the smoke. If we just remain a little bit more calm here with our shots, we're going to be able to kill Reyna here pretty easily. But since we panic and shoot really fast with our ghosts, we're unable to secure this round. Now, you want to take your time with your shots because the faster you spam, as you can see, the firing air indicator is actually already fading right here. This means that our inaccuracy is increasing as we shoot. Just tap slower, take accurate shots, reset.
Sticking.
This fucking game sucks. This game's
Just kind of an overheat moment from our
Insta
Sage here.
flash for here.
So,
Okay, listen. For here.
fuck.
yeah, so we lost that round, but we're performing a force because we got the plan.
Can you insta?
All right, I'm interested to see how this goes. This is a pretty risky play, but it does have its merits. Depending on how this is played out, this could either be a really good or really bad decision.
Instant.
So just gonna dash straight into Nest right away. You're gonna get concussed here. Jet's able to get a kill, which is really good for your team. I do not think it's a good idea.
Go back,
Yeah, okay.
Go back.
Good comps from our Jet here. So when our Jet's coming to rotate to B, especially with no, we need to be aware that our Jet no longer has dash. So this comp to go B is actually very smart. It's not like radiant smart, but it's like smart to the point where like both of us right here, we should be reacting to this comp and just going B, because without dash, our Jet can't create space for us. And we already are aware that Raze is on site and possibly Omen as well with the Omen smoke coming out. We just want to leave as soon as possible. One big problem in Diamond Elo is that someone will make a comm to rotate, and you'll usually see like one or two people just holding these locations even after the call to rotate has been made, and it leads to them dying unnecessarily and losing rounds unnecessarily.
Land Sage.
I got it. I need the ult.
I got it.
Go. I
I'm
need
getting
these
ready
ult.
to stun.
Oh, they changed that.
City.
Keep moving. Keep moving.
Wait,
Keep
just
moving.
wait.
You come fast.
I can kill two. Just wait.
Go.
Charges left.
Oh, one. Wait, both spawn,
Two.
spawn.
Both of them.
Wait.
Spike planted.
Chamber has like all 5.
Does he have a fucking phantom? What does he have?
So as you can see, our teammates making the exact mistake I pointed out, staying back A, going for a lurk when we have numbers, giving 1v1s here as well in Canteen, is going to possibly lead to us losing this round now, where it was a 4v2, it is now a 2v2. So what we want to do here is not ego peek like this. This is very bad. Our Brim is holding the close cross. So what he's essentially doing is holding here. So if Reyna were to move in this direction, you would be ready to swing and trade. And the only thing that you need to worry about is Reyna moving this direction, or possibly this direction, however unlikely that may be. So we only need to be worried about these two angles right here. Us ego peeking this is allowing Reyna to possibly get a 1v1, and that's what we don't want to give her.
70 on.
I'm just blinded.
Last player standing.
Nice shot.
And as we can see, that is in fact the angle that gets swung here, even though we're blind.
This is
Oh, okay, bro. You? Also mine?
Can someone thank
So this round we're just going to be performing a save here because we forced on round 2. So we're kind of throwing our lead right now. Reyna's going to go ahead and pick up one with the Phantom, so now it's a 4v5. Not too much to talk about on this pistol round. It's most
88.
likely going to end up in a loss. We'll kind of skim through it and see what's going on here. You kind of just want to, on these rounds, you just kind of want to like get them to use utility,
Player
whittle them down so that they don't have
down B.
an insane amount of credits the next round, even though their eco is in a pretty good spot now at this point. So we're now at a 9-6. We're going to go ahead and go for an A hit here, it looks like.
That's one.
Can you heal me?
Yep, I got you.
Smoke's down.
I go dashing.
Stim beacon here.
I'll get this. Do you gonna get this here?
I wall draft.
So this wall, okay,
Careful top side.
this wall is really bad. So on a rifle round, it's really not good. We want to be walling this way because when we wall close like this, kind of like how people have done on Split in the past, right? They're not forced to break the wall. In fact, what this does is allow them to take sight from this direction without being able to be contested from main. Now, it might look like a good wall because you can sit back here and hold spike, but you need to realize that although that's the case, Omen is just going to smoke this. So that angle becomes irrelevant for a substantial amount of time.
Careful top side.
Done.
Nice.
So it doesn't really have that much stalling potential as you might think. But we're going to get the round regardless, it looks like.
To be.
Our team is just going to go ahead and kill them. One thing to take note of is that these micro mistakes that we're making mechanically, they add up. And although the other team isn't skillful enough to punish these mistakes, they are happening and they are something that we want to improve on, especially if we want to climb the ranks of Diamond and hit eventually Immortal or go Pro or be Radiant. All of these things are things we want to work on. These mistakes that we're making are mistakes that higher rank players are going to be aware of and be able to punish effectively.
Stim beacon
I can. You ready?
So it's worth noting that although we're winning these rounds, a lot of times there are rounds, especially within these 6, that we don't necessarily have to lose
Oh shit! Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so
just
sorry.
due to these mistakes, not only by our Sage here, but just by our players here on our team in general.
One more arcade.
All right, so our team looks like they're just going to clean up the other team.
Last respawn.
Okay, good.
Just go ahead and go for these eco frags here. What we don't want to do at this point is give her a gun, which it looks like she might actually get one. We want to be aware of that as we're peeking this. Very unlucky for our Sage here, getting marshaled,
Nice.
but able to be traded. So we're losing guns here to eco weapons like a marshal. Want to typically avoid doing that. If we're gonna shut someone down like Reyes, who's using a marshal, definitely want to calm and ask for a breach flash or some type of utility to not have to dry peek that marshal. And higher ranks, the marshal becomes a pretty deadly eco weapon because people who are more skillful mechanically are going to be able to shut you down for a very cheap amount of credits. But we are stacked on credits right now, and we do have Sage Res, which allows us to play more aggressively this round. So what I'd like to see out of your team here, our team here, is to get it up in their face. Now, before I unpause, we actually see on the minimap here, Cranberry is holding this angle. Okay, I'm not sure what weapon he has. I didn't actually catch their econ. We're gonna take a look and see how this goes. He's got a Vandal, so he's holding a single with a rifle. Definitely a winnable fight here. Right off the start, we have so much info to work with. So if we just rewind to where my eyes my retinas aren't being damaged quickly. We're going to note that Breach is most likely playing here or right here, where Jet's actually going to kill her. Chamber's holding here, and Raze is probably right here. Okay, so why that's important is as we're moving in, we're seeing all this utility coming out. We now know that there's 3 people moving, or 3 people playing A, and as we're hitting site, even more players are going to be rotating through B. We have 2 people set up here, so as we have this information given to us, what we should call realistically is have our team rotate towards B as all of this utility is being wasted here. Because these people, like I said, are leaving B site open to a rotation. Now we might just win on A by brute force, but it doesn't have to be that way, and it's safer to just rotate.
I'm stunned.
So we got the Breach concuss, we got the Raze nade out, and then a Breach flash, and then Breach is killed. So already a lot of utilities being used here. And then at this point, Omen is most likely sitting in their spawn, setting up a smoke. Now there's the Raze boom bot, so even more utility is being used. And then the Raze ult comes out. So that is a huge amount of utils. We do have res.
Me and Chamber
Kind of a risky spot to res.
Yeah, we're up B right now.
I think we just play together as a team here. Reyna's hard anchoring in tower. So what we're gonna want to do here is best case scenario, we double up with Jet here, pressure this Reyna with our Jet, probably using wall right here to have a safe cross. We have no smokes, and then try and get this res off arcade, and then hold for site plant. So that is what my plan would be if I were in this situation. Let's take a look and take a look and see
Heal me,
how this
please,
plays
heal me.
out.
No heals, no heal. I can res you.
So Reyna's still just hard anchoring tower, and we already know we have 53 seconds. This is a lot of time, okay? And our breach is still underneath tower. So far, nothing too dangerous is happening. My recommendation is we actually just pull off another rotation, to be honest, because they are already in CT, just shooting at our Jet here. Now this is really bad because one, they're watching this cross, and they're watching this cross. So you can't run into sight because they broke the sage wall. So this is not an option safely, at least. And breach can pressure this Reyna, but he risks being picked off and making it a 2v3. So my recommendation is to just pull off a rotation, res this guy, and then plant on A site in a 4v3. But we're going to see, it looks like we're going to force B here.
Oh,
Decision making like this is very important.
Let me kill him. Let me kill him.
Okay. Breach able to kill Reyna here, making it 2v2. Not bad. And you still have the opportunity to res Jet.
Yep.
So it's still winnable. Still
like fucking
winnable.
62.
Okay. Not the best.
Breach.
Not the best decision here to res right in the open, just like that. Like I said, a rotation back to A to res this person who's not being contested. Way smarter of a res. We can just have breach come back through drop and dish. Plant A, easy win in a 1-2-3-4, 1-2, 4v2 instead of a 3v2, especially with no smokes. Bad idea. We're gonna continue this round out. Breach is unfortunately gonna get picked off, so now we're back to the drawing board here. We can't really buy. We're gonna go for a full util here, and it looks like our team is gonna go ahead and buy rifles here. We still have 2,700, so I'm not quite sure what the reasoning is for this actually. So we're gonna rewind and take a look at our eco. So okay, so our Jet's running knives. We have no weapon. Our chamber has 4K, so I'm kind of confused as to why we don't have a rifle here. If the reasoning is that chamber just straight up didn't buy you possibly because diamond egos, I would still recommend buying a sheriff, a spectre. Sheriff is a very, very strong weapon to buy. At least buy something. As you can see, our breach isn't even buying for next. He's just straight up buying a rifle. And if you see a teammate doing that, just go ahead and buy with your team. You just want to buy together. There's no point in saving. If your team is going to force, might as well force with them. Especially because your Jet can afford knives. Or she has knives, rather. So we're just going to... rewind. How did we die? Oh, okay, so we all just died to a Judge here.
Oh my god.
In tower.
Nice.
I'm flashing.
Okay, let's see if there's anything we could have
Go
done
tower, go
here
tower.
to prevent
Go
this.
tower, go tower.
We're taking Spike in tower, which is really not the
Oh
best.
my god, you can't be scared of them, Brim.
Not the best idea.
Yeah, Brimstone.
So we're just gonna go ahead and fast forward through this round here. See if Chamber can do anything. Okay, unfortunately Chamber could not do anything. So now we're on a bye. And our team looks like they have guns.
Done.
Okay, so here comes the util spam again. We need to be aware of this. We need to be expecting this util spam and avoiding it. Now, as you can see now, Jet is now chunked
I need heal.
because she was not expecting the util spam. So now our heal's gone because of that. This is a situation where we can calm this to our team.
I'm blind.
Here comes the breach flash.
Fine.
We now know Raze is here as well. So breach and Raze are both, in fact, A, and now Chamber, meaning 3, and Reyna, which means 3 more additional. And now we have the Omen TP coming off, most likely drop or main. So this is all 4 of their enemies are now all fully rotating to A. At this point, we need to be mindful of our flank because of the Omen TP. We need to be aware that breach will have one more flash.
20 seconds for heals. 20 seconds for
Okay,
heals.
quickly, good calm from our teammate. He points out that that breach has ultimate, and at this point, we need to be evacuating site really quickly. This is going to allow us to trade out kills and not allow him to capitalize on it. Unfortunately for him, he just dies. So
120, 120.
Last one. CT.
it's not really going to work out for them like that. So we're just going to clean them up here, and
Can I have guns?
looks like we're going to end it out on a 12-9,
Yes, yes, of
or 13-9 rather, or 13-8 rather. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
So we are going to go ahead and hit A again, it looks like.
I'm getting orb.
Beacon down.
Okay, once again, the close wall, not the best idea.
I saved my ult. I saved my ult.
And here comes the breach ult.
I'm double stunned.
Okay.
They're close. Nice.
Not bad. We commit to the plant after the breach ult and get the plant done.
I'm holding our flank. Just
All right, so at this point right here, what I would recommend doing is utilizing some type of slow to stall. Obviously, it looks like we're gonna win this round. However, it is good practice to try and get this area slowed, especially since we didn't wall this. Like they can just kind of run onto the site for free, which is typically with Sage what we're trying to prevent them from doing.
Hold this? Yeah, nice.
You have heal here again, so once again, heal teammate.
Okay.
Don't allow them to have low HP. The Chamber's gonna die here. 2 body shots. Okay, so Chamber did not get headshotted here. See, this is a situation where that heal possibly could have saved him.
this way, this way.
So good usage of our slow here by Sage.
Enemy
Kind of close by, so it could be walked around. But we're just gonna pick up the we're just gonna pick up the last kill here and end up getting the win. So good frags from our Sage here. There are some small things that we need to work on: timings, rotations, utility usage. Where our utility is used? How are we stalling the team on the other side? How are we affecting or impacting the match? And how is the other team communicating to each other? These are things that we just need to think about in general as we kind of progress into a round and progress into the ranks themselves and climb higher and higher in Elo. Thank you so much, Spencer, for submitting the VOD. I hope this helps. Overall, our Sage did a really good job, I would say. There are definitely things to be worked on, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.